Vice President Kamala Harris. Now, she's mocked on social media after she introduced herself this way during a roundtable discussion. Watch this.
Good afternoon. I want to welcome these leaders for coming in to have this very important discussion about some of the most pressing issues of our time. I am Kamala Harris. My pronouns are she and her. I am a woman sitting at the table wearing a blue suit.
All right, Jason Rantz, come on in, please. I'm sorry, but I think that destroys the credibility of the vice president. What do you say?
I agree, but just clearly, just for the sake of identification, I'm Jason Rantz. I am not a biologist, so I can't tell you my gender, but I do go by he, him. And I'm having a great hair day. This is performative wokeness.
Right? I mean, you're on dangerous ground there, son.
It's performative wokeness, right? I mean, this is done to earn some sort of social currency, not actually help anyone. It's the equivalent of someone whose name is Stuart, for example. Let's say you put in your email signature, he, him. You're not doing that for anyone other than yourself. You would want to get some extra points. Everyone knows, obviously, that you're a male. It is silly. It's leaning in to the woke culture. And I don't know why they think this actually helps their cause. I think it just makes people point at them and laugh.
I think you're right on that one. So why don't we get serious here? The governor of Washington State, that's Jay Inslee, he's using politics to create, I think, to create fear about the climate crisis. Just listen to this, Jason. Roll it, please.
We've all got to accelerate our game. We're just covering this horrendous fires in California. Unbelievable rainstorms shut down Yellowstone National Park. This is just the cutting edge of what's heading our way of this avalanche. Yeah. This destiny is in our hands.
All right, Jason, what do you make of this? He says that what they're experiencing on the West Coast is all climate change. What do you say?
He's just wrong. Anytime there's any weather event, he immediately calls it a result of climate change because it gets him on TV and it helps push his brand as the environmentalist governor. But the fact of the matter is, you know, our heat wave now, which he's blaming on climate change, it's cooler this year than it was last year at this time. It's summer. It gets hot during the summer. And traditionally, historically, in the Pacific Northwest, our heat waves tend to happen around this time. So this is not something that's unusual. It's not out of the blue. We knew it was coming. We knew it was going to last about 4 to 5 days, and that's what all the modeling suggests. I'm not saying that climate change isn't an actual thing. Clearly, there are portions of the year in which we're seeing a rise in temperature that we have not yet seen or have not normally seen, and we're trying to figure out how much of that is due specifically to man-made events. But this idea that every time you get a thunderstorm, oh, well, no, it's climate change. Every time it gets to 90 degrees, oh, my gosh, it's climate change. That's just not the case, and that's not what the data or the science says.
But would you make a link between extreme weather, and I think it's true to say that we have had some extreme weather events, would you make a link between extreme weather and climate change? Any kind of link?
You can, but just not in every instance, right? I mean, there are times where we have anomalies. There are also times where we start to see trends. Now, when you're seeing a trend, I think you can point to this and say, hey, maybe this is tied to climate change. Let's look at what the historical data says. But there are other times where you can clearly say, no, it's summer and it gets hot around this time. Again, traditionally, around this exact date, we see this kind of weather year after year after year, and no one, including the governor, is saying, by the way, last year it was hotter at this time. I think that's an important part.
I remember 40-odd years ago when I first moved to New Jersey, we had a day when it went up to 105 degrees. That was 40 years ago. We never heard of climate change or global warming then. All right, Jason, thank you very much, sir. We'll see you again soon, promise.
Thanks, Stuart. Appreciate it.